Happy Friday, everybody. Today we are looking at a Fox Valley Models 50-foot boxcar. Alright, so jumping right into this, going to be a bit of a short review, mainly because I don't have a whole lot to complain about on this model. It is, by all respects, just excellent. I very much enjoy this piece of rolling stock. I've been hunting eBay for the last couple months looking for different brands and manufacturers of rolling stock to kind of try on the layout, and this has been a pleasant surprise. I have a couple other pieces of Fox Valley rolling stock that we will get to in the future, but I've definitely put some decent runtime on this car. Before we talk visuals, something you should know, these are generally pretty expensive on eBay. However, I have been seeing deals for the last, month on quite a few of them. I have been able to score some deals getting most of these cars for right about the $20 range. And so, keeping that in mind, this car is an excellent deal compared to something like the Microtrains Boxcar sitting in the back there. When we're talking about quality, this doesn't necessarily have the opening doors that, say, the Microtrains piece of rolling stock does. However, honestly, really, really quite nice mold detail. If you're looking at the door on this, it's well defined. The waffle side on the total side of the Boxcar is really crisp. The paint looks excellent. The decal works really good. As we move down here just a little bit, don't mind the dirt. Again, working layout, and I'm doing kind of a new build, so there's lots of dust, so I apologize. But as we're looking at this end here, notice the wheel and the coupler are separated. This has body mount couplers, which is an excellent value added detail on this. The kind of walkway right there above the coupler is very nicely put together. If I tip that over there, you can see it's a really nice added detail. The separately applied handbrake is excellent. The wheels are metal from the factory. They roll really nice and smooth, and they're quiet compared to some of the other metal wheel sets that I have. The trucks are well defined and look nice. The top of the boxcar is pretty standard amongst everything. And as I flip this onto its side, much like a Microtrains, it has some underbody detailing, however, not quite up to the par of, say, a Microtrains piece of rolling stock, especially those new BNSF boxcars that I have behind. So now that we're pulled back a little bit and we're not looking up close, this compared to, say, the Microtrains in the top left are direct competitors with one another. The quality of the molding is not quite to the same level as, say, the Microtrains behind it, but it definitely outclasses some of the older, like, roundhouse pieces of rolling stock you might find. The Montana Rail Link off to the right here is a Microtrains converted piece of roundhouse rolling stock, and it looks good on a layout. It generally passes the sniff test. However, when you get them side by side, you can definitely tell that the Fox Valley outclasses it in many ways. So other than the visuals, what does it do that adds value to your layout that, say, that Microtrains boxcar up top to the left doesn't? If you go back and watch my review for that Microtrains piece of rolling stock, I absolutely love them. They work flawlessly. However, this piece of rolling stock from Fox Valley does kind of stand out and above it in certain aspects. Although the detail isn't quite as nice, I do really like the color on this, by the way. I think they nail that dark BNSF brown. But the usability of this thing is on another level. You cannot put this in a situation where it derails. It is just so locked into the rails. They really have the wheel sets and the geometry of this car put together in such a way that it just functions flawlessly. And so it kind of pushes it into a class similar to that of the 60-foot Microtrans boxcars. I've talked about them several times on my channel. There's something special about the 60-foot boxcars from Microtrans. They just work. No matter what situation you put them in, there's something about that length, the weight, how they interact with engines and other cars that just make them function really great as, say, buffer cars in between an engine and a more finicky piece of rolling stock. This piece of rolling stock, the Fox Valley 50-foot boxcar, definitely has those same traits. It is an excellent buffer car. It can go in between anything in an engine and absolutely take some of the finickiness out of other pieces of rolling stock. Not a problem being pushed through turnouts, pulled through turnouts, with speed or really slow, or with a bunch of weight in front of it. It just works. It's also not really heavy, which is super nice for people that are running grades. Lighter cars just allow you to pull more, and I state it all the time, I would much rather have, when you buy a good piece of rolling stock, whether it is within the guidelines of the NMRA or not, it should just function as built. And this car, I don't even know if it comes close to the NMRA standards. I don't care. It just works. And that's how every piece of rolling stock should be. So, 5 stars for this. Fox Valley, you did an excellent job. I hope to get more of these. Matter of fact, I just picked up a couple of Montana Rail Link ones. Kind of my little niche. I love my Montana Rail Link stuff. I'm going to continue to push those really hard to make sure that they hold up to the same standard that this is set from my layout. And with that said, thanks for stopping by, everybody. I will see you this weekend for the review. The ES44AC from Broadway is on the chopping block, so let's see how it turns out.